Surprised at how tall you were. He's very tall.
Well, if you only see somebody on TV, you just see their, in my case, giant head. So it hides how tall I am. Yeah. That's right.
We are the table of big heads here.
So this is a show of MAGA Republicans, right? That's what my media team told me. Okay, good.
Well, we'll find out.
All right, that was the intro of his walking on. I looked at multiple clips. I've got one available. Honestly, they're very frustrating to look at. It's a bunch of cackling hens interrupting him like every 4 words, especially Anna Navarro. There's claims that she was a Republican at one point. I don't even know how, because that woman is as obnoxious as they come. I mean, Sonny Hostin shows a degree of more politeness from what I've seen.
Well, look at the Bush press secretaries over on MSN. MS Now, she's been over there for a long time.
All right. Well, you sent me a clip to show, how well put together Whoopi is.
Color in your family.
Sure.
So when you see, things, the Emmett Till stuff coming down, or them doing all kinds of removal of information of Black heroes, how does that sit with you?
Well, what exactly are you talking about, Whoopi? Because you just I know Emmett Till was the kid. No, I want to know what she's.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Your actual point.
So in a lot of the
go on
museums, there's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country. Slavery happened.
Slavery was removed.
All kinds of stuff happened. And it seems that it has been very easy for this administration to remove that and also to denigrate
what is it? Come on, honey.
Folks who have worked their behinds off
to
get this American dream. Color in
his reaction, I will give him credit, is the perfect reaction to just, this woman sounds like a lunatic. I'm just going to look serious and just let her keep talking, because it's just eating up a bunch of airtime that makes no sense whatsoever. And I don't have to
I don't know what she's talking about. She, by her own admission, wakes up every morning and the first thing she does is hit the bong. I'm not denigrating her at all. I'm saying she has admitted this in numerous interviews over the years. This is a particular day of the week that ends with a day, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So I presume that she hit the bong this morning and went to work like she always does. What they do when you're really stoned is you can't get out your linear thoughts. So you begin to gesticulate wildly and say, come on, you know what I'm talking about, because they can't form coherent linear ideas, Eric. And she should be put into the Stoned Hall of Fame for that little mini segment there, because to me, this is someone who's just stoned on weed, who can't speak her mind in a linear fashion and begins to get frustrated. And this is I'm not just picking on Whoopi. You begin to see wild gesticulation, almost like an older person with sundowners trying to communicate, going, yeah. That's what she's doing. And she's both a senior and someone who's stoned on marijuana. So he literally said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he didn't say it sarcastically, so it came across more truthful, because he literally didn't know what she was talking about. Like, what are they taking down other than every Civil War general in the United States, every single thing representing American history, every single icon from the Civil War after George Floyd? What about Emmett Till are they taking down? The history of Black people? Again, it's hard to discern what she's talking about because it makes no sense.
Well, Emmett Till is just a well-known name, so it's a quick thing to throw out there.
But I'm saying she's implying there's a statue of Emmett Till that the Klan removed in Alabama last week. Again, nobody knows what she's saying, because when pressed to explain themselves in factual fashion, which she was attempting to do to the Vice President of the United States, she couldn't do it. So she started rambling and just put out nominal names like Emmett Till, black people, denigrate, history, just words that are in her head. You literally were looking into the skull of somebody on cannabis.
Yeah. I was going to ask if they're very good at charades with all that practice.
And I don't know. But the idea that this guy went on that show, I don't know anyone who supports that idea of him going on there to sell his book. Now, he went on the 5 afterwards, so I guess he's officially on a book tour.
Yes.
But I think once you're holding a position of that power of being the Vice President of the United States, I think you might want to put the book tour on hold for a while.
Maybe. Apparently, it's going to be going on with Megyn Kelly later today, or that's what's advertised. So it should be interesting.
Well, that's interesting also, because he is. I just see people on Twitter kissing him goodbye politically, saying he's dead to them, and he's dead to me. I mean, I couldn't look this guy in the face after he goes on Megyn Kelly. So I'm done with the guy. I'm just done. I'll take on Marco Rubio and be happy to vote for Marco Rubio in the next election, or some other comers, but not this guy. He's too flaky.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, the denunciation of Megyn Kelly by his boss could not have been more forceful. You want to sell a book? Knock yourself out, bro. You just sold yourself a book. Personally, I don't think he's going to run. So that's why I think he's made peace, and he wants to sell the book for his family and his kids, and he's made that decision. That's my takeaway. It is looking
more and more like
it. Yeah. I think that's the takeaway. Yeah. He doesn't have the stomach for this shit. Which is fine. I'd rather know now than later, Eric, right?
Absolutely. And do it quietly, because that allows things to get maneuvered in the background.
You have not heard from Rubio in a week.
No.
Either have I. And it just makes me feel like he is not on board this foreign policy maneuver by these two men. Again, we've heard from him on every single foreign policy maneuver since he came into office, and nothing on this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole, well, we'll shift to the Iran story here in a second. I had this one prepped up to load. This one, I'm kind of wondering about too. FBI disrupts the explosive drone plot targeting White House UFC event, officials say. It's interesting. It looks good, but for some reason, I'm like, God, this feels like the Whitmer kidnapping.
How did Barnes's brother get caught up in this thing? I don't understand.
I don't even know. I mean, this is 19-year-old kid, Tyson Proper.
This can't be real.
I guess he used $3,000 of his graduation money to purchase lots of ammunition, guns, extra magazines, and other items. Now, the funny part about this is they love to say, thousands of rounds. Well, anybody who's in the hunting world or whatever, they buy boxes of ammo when it's on sale. And if it's 100 a box, well, they'll have 20 boxes of ammo, but they, represent it like it's a giant stockpile, compound war situation. I don't know.
Yeah, because people have a lot more than that. I mean, it does smell like the Whitmer kidnapping. You're right about this.
And I just don't know.
This guy looks like the guy who's the informer. The idea that guy hung out with that guy, that is not a match. Those two faces don't match as people hang out with each other.
No. And then this guy's sort of
this guy looks like the bird who ate the canary who ate the bird, or the bird that ate the canary or something. The cat that ate the canary. I mean, what is he smirking about?
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering. Okay, I just don't know how deep of a plot is. I want to see more information about it. I'm sure they were talking, shit online. Absolutely, well, whatever. But were they just talking shit, or was it a really high deal plot? I don't know.
I mean, these things serve a purpose politically. And also security wise, they serve, even if they're made up, even if they're entrapped, Eric, it still serves a purpose.
Oh, sure,
to push back against the evildoers.
I agree. But I did want to cover it, and like I said, I want to learn more. Nothing is just leaping out at me though, as like this being a oh my god, type of plot. So
yeah, I think his mother called the police or something, or what, his own mother.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
All right.
And then apparently this just came out from Judicial Watch. It's kind of related, but it's FBI records are revealing a witness account that SWAT officer recovered a remote device from crooks, it appears.
Okay.
Now,
what's a remote device?
Well, that I don't know. A gray remote device with an antenna.
It's like me finding a television.
Right.
It's like me finding a stolen television in a garage and calling it an optical viewing machine. Why don't you just say what the fuck it is? It's an optical viewing machine, a stolen TV.
That's true.
Remote device.
But Judicial Watch did get that released. They've been doing, great work, and they forced the hand on that. And then so we'll shift into Iran. I'm gonna lean on you on this one because I really
what do you want from me? I don't know anything.
I
haven't read
all this.
Have you read the
nobody's read
document of understanding? I mean, I don't know what's in there.
Nobody has. The MOU has not been seen by anybody. Everybody talks about it. It's signed, but it can't be shared.
Yeah, that's
for
weird.
Some reason I don't understand. And then the people who are releasing information on it are the Iranians. It's like all the information coming out is coming from their side, but we can't read it and we don't know what it is.
That sounds like transparency at its best. I don't get it.
You sent me something that I was kind of suspecting already, a little screenshot, but I was like, man, is he forcing the issue so it was on his birthday? I don't know why. It just popped in my head.
The Wall Street Journal said that. That was from the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said it's a 60-day ceasefire. Okay. Is it a peace deal? Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's making me.
Well, you're not alone. Nobody knows what it is. Again, he has said today when he made a deal with the tyrannical, totalitarian monarchy of Qatar that they will be investing trillions of dollars into the U.S. economy. Apparently, it does. Money talks and morality, totalitarianism walks with him, no matter what it is. Apparently, it's so transactional at this point with him that it doesn't matter. You could be he would make a deal with the Third Reich to invest in our infrastructure if they were around. Based on what I'm seeing, I mean, Qatar is really the direct opposite of the United States in terms of civil liberties and freedom and religious liberties. Every single metric you could possibly measure a country by, this money that they've invested in Tucker Carlson has now come to fruition. And the president of the United States was sitting there with the head of Qatar today talking about the $1 trillion investment in our businesses here by Qatar. I never thought I'd ever live long enough to see that happen in my lifetime. And also now taking on the Syrian mad dog dictator to go up against Hezbollah and telling the Israelis to stand down, that this beheading guy who he has handpicked, according to him, he has installed, this is his own words. This is not me editorializing. He claims to have installed this Syrian dictator who is one of the most bloodthirsty Al-Qaeda guy. Eric's right. In Syria, he now wants him to go up against Hezbollah like it's some UFC cage match, and that the Israelis are inefficient compared to him. Again, the entire nation of Israel, and for whether you hate them or not, were the most beloved Trump supporters of any nation in the world. The left and the right of Israel has now completely turned against him. I've never seen a more draconian radical turn overnight in my life by an ally.
But Mark, I thought that Trump worked for Bibi Netanyahu.
Apparently, he can't come up with names to call him in public. Now, you could say this is intentional to drag back in the MAGA right to win the midterms. Because people are saying that, Eric, that this is an intentional move by Trump to placate these people and lure them back in to win the midterms, and then old Trump will come back. Even if that's true, it is such a lack of moral leadership as to be disgusting.
That would be very cynical. It really would be.
Well, that's what, people are saying that as an explanation for what's going on. Nobody could figure this out. Nobody.
Well, I won't argue that. Like I said,
you're making a deal with the Iranian regime. They've killed 40,000 of their own people. During the time you got involved in this, in the past 6 months, you have issued statements which are flying around the internet of his statement saying, rise up, I will back you, I am Trump, rise up, Iranians. Now, when you sign a deal with the regime and the money comes out of Qatar, which is what he's trying to do, he's trying to have the money come from a cutout. So it doesn't come from the United States, the Iranian regime. How fucking stupid does he think we are? That Qatar is going to provide them with the money and then we're going to pay back Qatar for the money. Really, schmuck? Really? You think we're that fucking stupid? And to fund this regime and to open up the Straits of Hormuz, look, I don't understand what the difference is, because when we started this thing, the Straits of Hormuz were open, Eric.
Well, what worries me, and again, I'm going to use the same thing that I've been saying, because I can't read any of it. I don't have that information. Everything is just by what's being reported. Yeah. I think Wall Street Journal came out and said that people are saying that the deal is actually worse than what Obama had in 2015. Now, again, no, I can't confirm it. It's not out there. Here, let's see what JD has to say about it here. Because he's been marched around as the guy.
Now with Vice President J.D. Vance to discuss the latest ceasefire agreement in the war with Iran. Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us this morning. Back on March 6th, about a week into the war, President Trump put out a post on Truth Social saying there will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender. So why did he reverse course and agree to this deal now?
Well, George, I don't think he reversed course. I think fundamentally the president's argument was we are going to use the military to exert pressure on Iran, and we're going to get something that is good for the American people, and now we have that. And just to recap where we are, George, Iran's nuclear program is completely destroyed. What this deal fundamentally does is it reopens the Straits of Hormuz. You see oil prices have already come down substantially just in the last 24 hours.
I'm completely confused. I'm completely confused.
I thought there was uranium dust that people are arguing over.
What are they going to give us? I thought we were physically going to. You can just take Trump's comments one after another the past 4 months to contradict every single thing J.D. Vance just said. Who am I? I have whiplash. I have fucking whiplash over this guy already. I don't even know what to make of it, Eric. Are they going to give us the uranium? Are they going to charge? He's saying yesterday we're negotiating with them to charge tolls for the Strait of Hormuz now. He said that's on the table, Eric.
Well, not tolls. They said they denied tolls.
Right.
And but they said that Iran said they might probably go. And he said, well, so it's like you just can't call it tolls, fees.
Something.
It's kind of a double.
Why are they the only ones who believe you can negotiate with terrorists?
I don't know.
Again, why do they believe that these are honest brokers?
Yeah. I don't. Why do they believe that never proven themselves to be very reliable in anything? And by the way, I love the chat. It's like, no. Did you call Trump schmuck? I don't remember that. Did you say that here?
I don't know. I didn't say that, but I don't mind saying it.
Somebody's claiming it.
See, we're either pro-Trump or we're anti-Trump. So it's like one or the other, Eric.
Yeah, like I said,
how about individually picking apart his fucking policies like a normal person? How about giving him a tip of the hat when he does good and fuck him over when he does bad? How about that? instead of just going along or denouncing him 100% either way. How
I
about
agree.
that for an idea of political journalism?
I agree. I totally agree. And like I said, the timing of it, like the birthday celebration and announcing that just, it kind of was like, ugh.
Well, don't forget the rush of Biden to get out of Afghanistan on the anniversary of 9/11. This has the smell of that. Still angry at me for pointing that out, folks? This has the smell of that insane withdrawal from Afghanistan to celebrate the whatever anniversary that was of 9/11.
Yeah. I mean, now again, as I qualified,
that's the least of the problems, Eric, right?
Right. Well, and as I said before, unfortunately, I don't speak Farsi. I don't have the ability. I'm not on the ground. I don't know this, and I am dependent on sources. And it gets frustrating. People be like, the only reliable source about Iran is this. I'm like, well, how would I know that?
I know.
How do you know who is actually a reliable source about anything? And
one thing I knew was a reliable source was Trump, because he denounced Tucker, he denounced Megyn Kelly, he denounced all these people, and now they're back in the fold again,
or something. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's weird. Like JD kind of was on the back burner for a while, and all we saw was Marco. And JD, he's going around, he's doing stuff. That's cool. But now JD's front and center on this deal, and I do know that, well, it's been reported, and it was reported a while ago, that Iran asked for JD Vance to be the guy who was involved with this a while back.
Wow, maybe he's a little soft. But what is he doing? He shows up somewhere. He's not negotiating with anybody. He's just a figurehead himself. What is he physically doing?
I don't know. There's talks that he may be the one who actually signs the deal in Geneva with whomever. And then I'm like, well, who's going to be there? Because the optics go both directions. If the vice president of the United States is the guy who's there, the foreign press secretary in Iran and like a parliamentarian is not exactly the same level of a smaller country.
Especially when you have a quote unquote supreme leader.
Well, nobody has seen. There's no documentation of the guy. I don't even know if he's really alive. I mean, he could be in a coma, and everybody is talking for him.
Yeah, we don't know. We really don't know. I mean, this whole thing is so messy. It's so crazy. I've got whiplash from Trump going back and forth on this thing. I've got literally PTSD from him just whipping back and forth with contradictions about himself, by himself, the past 3 or 4 months. I mean, it's just been endless. Completely unnecessary. I wish he wouldn't have said anything. I mean, I wish he wouldn't have said a word. And apparently it's not possible. My theory is he got in too deep and he had to pull out for the midterms. He thought this would end quicker. He fucked up, and now he's trying to clean up the best he can. That's my short version of the elevator pitch of what happened here. He thought he could get in and out quicker. He couldn't. They fucking sandbagged him. And now he's just doing the best he can to get the hell out to salvage the midterms.
Fair enough. Innisfad is expressing, let me see, I feel like I'm listening to a discussion on CNN.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
that
are
would
we
be great.
professional?
Wow. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, so I'm curious, and this one came in before the show even started, but I can't help myself. I do think, what does Two-Way have to say about this?
I don't know. That's a good show. Two-Way. Well, Eric and I were talking before the show. They didn't really get into depth about it because, like us, they don't have all the details to really roll around and figure out what's really going on.
You froze for a second, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't hear what you were saying, so whatever.
I just said the Two-Way didn't get into it that deeply.
No, as a matter of fact, it seemed like they had a whole lot of time on Plattner. So, by the way, Plattner is won his primary and is the Democratic candidate for Senate in Maine against Susan Collins.
Oh, that's going to be resolved. That's going to be resolved this week.
And it's obviously
they're obsessed with this
story in the world.
You know what it is? It's Northeast politics. That's in, it's right in their backyard. So it trumps anything that is anywhere else in the country.
True.
Right. And the chances of him winning get less every single day. But they're obsessed with this race. They're just obsessed with it.
I know, and I understand that and my big thing too is that it's a Senate race, and if you're focusing so much thought about one Senate race when the Republicans have what, a 5-seat lead or somewhere in there, then it must be thin pickings. I mean, the House is where all the action is, from what I understand, and it is what it is. But anyway, to cap out the whole story, Trump does say he's going to read the text of the Iran deal aloud to the media, word by word.
Again, another insane claim. What is he going to do? Have a fireside chat reading a 100-page memo of understanding? Again, he says things he doesn't even realize what he's saying anymore. Now, now when he doesn't do it, they're going to say, "Where's your memo of Well, I was just kidding about that."
Yeah,
at some point you got to shut the fuck up.
I agree. Anyway, so there that goes. Anything else to discuss?
There's nothing we could say until we know more about it. I mean, we'll find out on Friday. Again, he's burning so many bridges so quickly. It's hard to repair all of this stuff. This is not The Apprentice anymore. We're literally a few months from the midterms, and if that's his goal is to bring these MAGA Reich people back into the fold, that's his goal.
Well, I don't know if that is the case, and it would be odd, because honestly, it would be odd in multiple ways. Like if they just come right back into the fold, then that would mean that they really weren't serious in what they were saying.
Right.
The same way as if he reached out and was trying to bring them in, then he wasn't serious about what he's saying. And I'm almost, more depressed than before.
I mean, you can't say that you never promised regime change. Then there's documents saying you promised regime change. Then you claim that you achieved regime change. He has 3 to 4 different statements contradicting each element of this excursion with Iran. You could pick any one of the 3 or 4 statements that he's made that contradicts each of the other 3 or 4 statements.
True. I do agree. So, all right. Well, we'll shift to something hyper localized that I know everybody loves. L.A. Dean Logan. Who is Dean Logan? What's his story?
Dean Logan, as you're well aware, who I've been ranting about for 4 years, is the county executor in charge of elections. He's a registrar, is his title. He came out of Washington State and was run out of Washington State under clouds of scandal. He stole a bunch of elections up there. He's an avowed Marxist. He's run unopposed here. There's no oversight for him. He's in charge in ballot distribution, counting ballots, throwing away ballots, throwing away signatures, verifying signatures, everything. And he has been under the radar here since he got the job. And now apparently they're beginning to focus on him as the possible criminal mastermind behind the election scandals in LA.
Okay. And do you think that is the case? Is he the guy behind it? Or
yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I've said it for 10 years since I've been a reporter. I've said it for 10 years. And finally, the New York Post has done a major story on him, explaining what happened up in Washington State. And there's comments in the article by elected officials in Washington State, how he stole elections up there. It goes through his whole lineage, his whole linear storyline in the article of how many different elections he's stolen.
He's so good. He's got a track record of 27-0 or something.
Yeah, no, he lost 1 or 2, but he has a long history of stealing these by 38 votes and a couple of other things, and disavowing 18,000 signatures and all the different machinery things that he's done. He mixes it up. But my favorite part was that on his bio, up until a couple of years ago, it said that he went to the Soviet Union and to communist China to study how they ran elections. And I thought, what Democrat? And he is completely linked to the deep state. Somebody did a deep dive on him on X yesterday and brought him all the way back to the World Economic Forum and to Klaus Schwab and also to George Soros.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Of course he is. All right. Let's go ahead and keep going on California a little bit more. This is kind of just breaking now. Gavin Newsom apparently is having a little bit of.
It's not breaking now. His chief of staff was arrested and pleaded guilty. She was indicted last year. She is his chief of staff for stealing money. This is an extension of something that started under the Biden administration, under the attorney general at that time. His wife is an activist. He was funneling money to his wife, and here she is. She's part of the operation. The chief of staff has already pled out. She hasn't been sentenced yet, so they're leaning on the chief of staff to, I assume, to flip on them, Eric. You know, but this has been going on.
Well, I know that the chief of staff happened, but I meant breaking now that his wife is starting to.
But that's apparently not true either. The article is new. You're right. The article is new, but she's been under investigation apparently for over a year. I mean, we don't know about it because it's obviously, you know, been on the down low, but he issued a statement on an official letterhead of the governor's office demanding all emails and Twitter and text messages from the DOJ to him on the official letterhead of the governor's office.
Well,
that's insane, Eric.
I heard he was using it for raising money.
Well, yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah. He was funneling money. Part of his game and part of the game itself is to funnel taxpayers' money to these NGOs. His mistake was he funneled money to an NGO run by his wife. That's where they've got him now. And that's why he's squirming like a dead rat, because she was getting money from taxpayers via him through the NGO that she started.
Okay, well, I meant fundraising himself, like using it to campaign on, like he's trying to use.
Yeah.
You know, he follows the Trump playbook. We've seen that over and over, that, you know, Trump does that, so he swears.
Well, that's recently. That's recently, and that's mostly language from my analysis of it. That's just in the past year, and it just seemed like some political attempt to be Trumpian for his presidential run, to be a tough guy, Eric. You know what I mean? But as for his style of money making, it is the cascading waterfall of NGOs and private boards that he appoints. This is where the base of his power comes from. When you're termed out in California for whatever political job you have, you are beholden upon Gavin Newsom for an appointment to a political board that is private, that he controls, and then you could get a salary of up to $2 to $5 million. So his power to control them while in office is so enormous because of the appointments power that he has to these private boards after you're termed out, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's building his retirement nest egg, so to speak, and influence.
Right, but it's influence peddling is really the crime, and it's also a crime to do what he's been doing of appointing these people based on them doing his bidding. Yeah. But it looks like they're targeting his wife. So let's see what happens with his wife. First of all, he's outraged by this.
Right, and when I was saying that he was using the Trumpian, I was trying to say he was trying to play games and raise money on it, like saying his lawfare. Because remember, that's what got Trump to win the primary. Everybody was like, whoa. You guys are doing all this crap against the guy, and it worked for him. And Gavin's just trying to say, oh, look, they're just trying to do it to me. It's all political lawfare, blah, 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 blah. Whatever Trump did, he kind of does, it seems. So,
yeah, I mean, the question now is, like, you know, is he has plummeted in the Democratic polls, where now Kamala Harris is up at 37% and Newsom is down to like 18. This thing is completely flipped all of a sudden.
Yeah, I keep hearing.
Did you see those polls? I mean, she's miles ahead of him now.
I don't get it. I'm just like, did everybody just smoke enough of her weed and have wine, and they forgot who she was?
He has had a steady decline, according to the same polling. His decline has been, the more he's been exposed, the more he's been declining in the polling. And for her, I mean, mostly black women are the base of her operation.
Why her? I mean, are they that desperate? There's nobody else.
Well, the two lowest level guys, Shapiro and Bashir, are down at the bottom, but they've increased also to like 9 and 11%. But they're not near Newsom, and no one's near her.
And Pritzker's out.
He's not even registering. Buttigieg, I think, is like at 7 or 8. Then there's Bashir, and then there's Shapiro. Neither one of them are really up to the level of Newsom, but no one's near her level.
Speaking of Buttigieg, I just got noticed because I'll be at the VidCon, YouTube thing, whatever, in California. Buttigieg is going to be there.
No.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should go get a picture with the guy just to troll.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm like, what the hell is he doing at? Then I'm like, it's a YouTuber conference or creator conference. So like, maybe that's the game. But I'm like, Buttigieg out of everybody. Ugh. Oh, Dustin,
why is he there?
So. Dustin's saying, get ready for Kamala AOC.
Well, she's out. She's not really going to be involved, she said. I mean, they're not even polling her.
That's like Dumber and Dumber.
Yeah, no, it's not even on the radar for her, for AOC. Just too low. It was like below 5 or something as a potential operative. But the Harris thing, it's obviously, it's not name recognition because people know Newsom's name, they know Buttigieg's name. It's not like they don't know anybody else's name.
Well, Shapiro's screwed just because.
Yeah, there's not a chance in hell. He's in the wrong party, that guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think he could do he's a man out of time. Like 10 years ago, sure.
He's Andrew Cuomo. He's Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, he kind of is.
That's what he is. He's the head of a big state, New York, Pennsylvania. Apparently efficient in doing that. I mean, obviously,
very competent,
Cuomo,
from my understanding,
very competent. But so was Cuomo. Other than the touchiness, there was nobody challenged his competence in running New York State. He was too handsy, but that's a separate issue from running the state.
Yeah, Shapiro's kind of like the Democrats' DeSantis.
Well, he thinks
very
he's Obama.
Runs the state. All that. What?
He thinks he's Obama, according to his supporters.
Well, okay. Obama.
No, I mean, he's a very strong public speaker. I don't know if DeSantis can really turn a speech. They compare Shapiro's public speaking to Obama.
Okay. I know I'm in the minority. I never thought that Obama was a good public speaker. I find his stilted delivery very off-putting. And just not that inspirational, personally.
Yeah.
So maybe many other people. I keep hearing he's such a brilliant orator, but I've never felt like he was that great. So I don't know. But what can I say? To close out the other story that went by, Carmelo Anthony's judge came out.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, he seemed to be pretty confident.
Yes, and
he said he was a nice kid.
Yeah, no, I really like how the judge put it. I mean, he just said that he believes that the jury saw the evidence and made the right decision. And he said that, he thought he was a nice kid, but he's got to face his consequences now for what he's doing. And to be fair, the act is obviously monstrous. And
also a mixed jury of there were Asians on there, there were Indians on there was Pakistanis, there was various other people on that jury. It was not, as the media indicated, again, that it was an all-white jury, just to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. And looking at his family, because it's getting very interesting, because some of the Black Lives Matter people even are divorcing themselves from his family, saying, these people are really twisted. They're really.
Oh, they had a 7-year plea deal on the table, and to accept the plea deal, they had to return the $660,000 raised on the GoFundMe websites, and they thought about it overnight and turned down the 7-year plea deal of their own son.
Wow.
So that broke this week as well. That's startling news.
Yeah, and from what I understand, Carmelo Anthony or whatever was a good student, like high GPA, actually doing well. I think his family and his baggage and whatever else happened, God help it. But I'm glad to see the judge came out and really kind of put a cap on it, like saying, okay, you know what?
Well, I think they'll appeal. I mean, they're going to appeal the length of the sentence, so we'll see what happens.
No, I'm sure they will, and they better. Honestly, I think their best appeal may be crappy lawyering, because you heard that about the appeal. Who was it? A lead attorney who's a black lawyer out of Atlanta was talking about it. He said that Carmelo Anthony probably would have gotten 10 years or fewer. No question, except for who the family hired as a representative. So they brought in like every annoying flamethrower and race baiter.
Isn't that on them? They had $600,000 to spend on their kids' legal defense. They kept 600 and spent 60. So I mean, it's on them. I don't know. What do you? Now it's going to be overturned because you kept the 600,000 for legal fees.
Well, the irony is that, I mean, you can get a consideration if you had inadequate counsel.
Yeah.
And it's hard he was on bail, so I guess he could move around a little bit more.
He was out for a whole year and a half. I mean, that kid was partying. He was doing everything.
Yeah. I hope he enjoyed his year off, but it's done now. Totally done now. All right, so did you see the latest on the SPLC story?
Yeah, I don't understand. Didn't we just have this happen a month ago?
Yeah, but it's starting to roll
that
out
part.
different information.
Yeah, so. I did see that. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, the head of their intelligence apparently...
This trans woman was dating a Nazi and funneled money to him?
Or dating the undercover, because remember, they were sending in their own operatives.
Right.
It's such a confusing situation. But yeah, this woman apparently was with
the name of her memoir should be the name of her memoir should be I Married a Nazi.
Well, I was thinking it was like, is this Victoria and Newland's cousin or something? Anyway, sorry.
Well, they shared a bank account too, Eric.
Yes, they did.
That's not good.
No. And it is funny because I have an interview about William Pierce, who was the National Alliance. This is all tied in with the National Alliance. So my worlds are kind of converging because of Oklahoma City, SPLC, Elohim City, all of the stuff that they were doing in there. But I didn't know if it could be Eric Levy, the guy who followed up William Pierce. And his name is coming up in the story now too. So I'm not sure, they don't have it narrowed down as far as who some of these informants are, but it appears they're starting to roll some things out, and there can be some teeth to this. And I think that's going to be a good thing. Now back on the social side, we've got did you see this case in Colorado? We have the teachers who like to, touch the kids or whatever.
Oh, the kissing lady?
That's the one.
Yeah, that's a good one. The kissing
one. Is the one.
Yeah, this has gone so far off the rails, Eric. She's teaching them how to lesbian kiss in the classroom. And
yes. And
I'm supposed to just accept that. Right. Yeah. And they still can't put cameras in the classroom, because then you would see that she was instructing the girls to learn how to tongue kiss each other on camera, which would have really offended the Teachers Union of Colorado. So we can't have cameras in the classroom.
Yeah. And what I love is she, of course, claimed it was discrimination against her because of it. But I mean, it was so bad that this is the school board in Colorado.
I move that the board hereby accepts both the evidentiary and ultimate findings of fact of the hearing officer, the recommendation of the hearing officer that Ms. Jennifer Honka be dismissed on the grounds of incompetence and neglect of duty, and that the board enter its written order as required by TACTA that Ms. Honka be dismissed with immediate effect.
Is that Miss Hunka right
Is
there
there a
with her
second?
mask on?
Yeah.
Second. Okay, the floor is now open for debate. Seeing none, Ms. Atwood, would you please call roll?
My favorite debate right there.
None.
Director De La Rosa. Aye. Director Gaitan.
Aye.
Director Hunter. Aye. Director Klein-Molk.
Aye.
Director Sia.
Aye.
Dr.
Aye,
Torres.
aye, aye.
Mr. Youngquist.
Yes.
Thank you. With that, the
Do they
motion
have any
passes.
room?
Thank
I
you,
mean,
David.
they're all sitting together like this. No wonder they're wearing masks.
It's a low budget.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, she's
What was her
wearing a mask.
defense? That she wanted to teach them how to be lesbians, or?
I forgot her defense. It was some ludicrous situation. Upset. Meanwhile, Honka testified that she did not force students to kiss and would give them alternatives such as blowing a kiss or fist bumps if they were uncomfortable.
Oh my! Why are they even getting in this area? What is she, director of social engineering? This woman? What is the deal?
Supposedly as language lessons. I think she was like a French teacher. I'm not,
French kissing, French tonguing, and the whole
I
language
guess.
of the French.
yeah, it's the language of love, especially with
the
lesbians.
language of love. Wow.
With lesbians. So go figure.
Telling you,
Anyway.
cameras in the classrooms, people. It's the only way it's going to stop them.
Well, you know, it's going to ultimately. She's trying to raise the kids to grow up and compete in sporting events such as this.
What's this?
I can't play the
Yeah,
music,
don't play
but this
that.
is
That's
called
what it is.
hobby horsing.
Oh, dear
And it is
God.
actually a real thing. They have, you remember kids, you have a hobby
Yeah,
horse, a little
hobby
broomstick
horse,
of that?
yeah.
Well, they actually have weirdos who
Okay, I was watching an episode of Balin Out Loud, and her boyfriend, Balin, who was autistic, went to what would normally be like a yoga class, but it was a hobby horse class. And in that hobby horse class, they picked out a hobby horse, not unlike these, and kind of went around the room doing hobby horse kind of things as part of the class. But it had the tone of a yoga class.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay. That's a strange one.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But well, welcome to it. All right. Let's see. You sent me this one, and I think you could tell me all about it. It is January 6th movie that is coming up.
I did
with-
tell you all about it a couple of weeks ago on this channel.
Well, tell us again, because
I'm just going to keep telling you.
yeah,
No,
because
said
I forget.
Sean Penn is working on a feature film about J6.
Okay.
With Bradley Cooper, by the way, who I think might be playing that crazy tattooed cop.
Oh God, really?
I'm sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
Yeah, I
sorry.
am very sorry too. So is it moving forward? Anything else happening with it, or just?
Well, it's at Warner
no?
Brothers. It's from the people who did Sinners, and they did a bunch of hit movies. So yeah, it is definitely moving forward.
Lovely. That's going to be quite the delight. All right. Well then,
yeah.
How about a piece of good news?
Okay.
This North Carolina student wins $95,000 after school accused her of vandalizing Spirit Rock with Charlie Kirk tribute.
Oh, that's a weird headline. What's a Spirit Rock?
This is literally
and she
this is
vandalized it or something, or
well, yeah. Let me break down the story. This rock here,
Okay.
apparently,
the one on the
is-
right, or
It's the same.
oh, okay.
I think it has two sides. But anyway,
Okay.
this rock apparently has been used for years and years and years, and it's by the school, and students paint it with different things, and they call it the spirit rock. And
Gotcha.
when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, apparently she called in to the administration and said, "Hey, can I paint on the rock, or can she and a friend paint on the rock as a memorial to this horrible event," which she did. By the end of the day, the school principal said no. She vandalized that rock.
Oh my God! What
And
a
it was
plot twist!
graffiti and everything else.
Wow!
And it was immediately painted over. But yeah, here's another example of how the rock is painted. Okay,
Right.
so you see they got painted with that, but her message was very, very offensive.
Right.
Well, ultimately, they claimed that, and she was going to be reported to the authorities and everything else. Well, they didn't actually report to the authorities. They confiscated her phone, found out pretty quickly, I think, that she called the damn school. Her story must have checked out.
Yeah.
And they quietly said, oh, she wasn't arrested or anything else, but they would never say anything publicly about it and let her twist in the wind. Kids were bullying her and everything else. And finally, she just put in a federal lawsuit.
Oh, wow.
Saying, screw you.
Wow.
The board has settled the lawsuit now for the $95,000. Now, what pisses me off so much about the lawsuit, and I don't know if I would have accepted this. This is the apology. The board regrets that the student had this experience.
Oh my God. Could it get any weaker?
That is the whole, I'm so sorry you're upset.
That is the weakest apology I've ever heard of.
Exactly. It is a non-apology. It is a complete joke, but they did get the rest of it, and they had to say the board has settled the case of the minor, blah, 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 blah. And they're adopting a new student free speech policy, addresses spirit rocks and other expressive activities. Although previously communicated to the community on October 11th, 2025, the board reaffirms and clarifies the following. The student's painting of the Audrey Kell Spirit Rock on September 14th did not violate the Code of Student Conduct or other school system policies in place at the time. It was not an act of vandalism, and the school did not report the incident to law enforcement.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm glad she won. That's cool. And I'm glad that she's got, a little bit of money. But
yeah. Well, that'll go towards her college, which is great.
Yeah, I know. I think that's fantastic, and good on them for paying. And speaking of paying, this is a private, citizen that's paying, but it's a follow up on the story we had about LGBTQIA, blah blah blah, Los Angeles Dodgers, etc. Or Giants. Sorry.
Oh,
Rob
Schneider is it? He's in on it now. Everybody's getting in on this.
Yeah, Rob Schneider vows to pay fines for Major League Baseball players who write Bible scriptures on their uniforms. MLB is anti-Christian. Now, I know that he's a successful guy and all that, but I wonder how much he could actually pay in fines if, let's say, a lot of them did start writing on their head.
I don't know. I reached out to Harmeet Dillon about this morning, and before I even got an answer, the Attorney General of the great state of Florida opened an investigation into MLB, an official investigation into religious liberty violations, which is what I was signaling through X to Harmeet Dillon this morning.
Good.
It's shocking how fast it happened. I'm pleasantly shocked.
I'm shocked as well. There's
a long history of people putting slogans on their hats. And which I highlighted in some of the tweets. I went back and I found photos of Clayton Kershaw and others celebrating people's numbers on their hats and different things on their hats. And they are doing this not on their regular caps. They're doing this because of Genesis's description of the rainbow by the Lord. And their perception of the biblical version of the rainbow, and being forced to wear these hats as a team. Now, it's been said that they didn't have to wear the hats, but they would have been penalized and ostracized for not wearing the hats. So it's a double-edged sword, because now they're claiming, MLB, that these guys are violating the sanctity of gay life. It's the MLB's position is so untenable legally. It is such low-hanging fruit for the Attorney General, Harmy Dillon, to end this, that the Attorney General in Florida took the lead on it.
Well, it seems so screamingly obvious. And then what about what about this principle? Let's say that somebody on the team practiced Islam. Do you think they support LGBTQ?
No.
And then if they said, no,
hell
hell no, I'm not going to wear that, and then they wrote a quote of their own, what would they do then? Then we'd have a nice collision.
We don't know, because they keep forcing this shit down people's throats. Not only did we had gay night here until they had the Sisters of Perpetual Motion, who came out as a Catholic nuns in drag a number of years ago at Dodger Stadium, and people lost their shit because it's a huge Catholic city here with the Latinos and everything else. It's a gigantic Catholic city of angels. And they lost their shit over these nun mocking groups called the Sisters of Perpetual Motion. And that kind of ended it for that time. But this situation up in San Francisco this week, they brought out onto the field 10 gay couples to reassert their marriage vows with trans dancers. It was just a whole festival on the field. With these guys couldn't even work out.
Yeah, that's
before the game. I mean,
I don't get it. I guess I'm old-fashioned. To me, the answer would be, we just wear our uniforms.
Can't do
Period.
it. Can't
Nothing else. No embellishments. It's either the home uniform or the away uniform. That's it. Knock it off. I don't think that's a terrible way to do it. Just say, play baseball.
Well, I mean, that being said, they market the hats, and then the hats sales go to more gay NGOs. I mean, there's a whole waterfall of effect for this thing. It's not as cut and dry. What's that?
Or a rainbow.
Yeah, I mean, but the rainbow means different things to biblical people than it does to gay people. Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, thanks.
Well, the rainbow could mean that they're an Apple fan from way back.
Yeah.
With the six colors, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, who knows? I know it's Tim Cook, obviously the double-ended of his final WWDC, being the gay CEO of Apple, had the rainbow behind him and six colors. So I guess it all merged into one perfect.
No, but I mean, there's photos of baseball players with slogans like "I miss my mom" on there. There was one last year for Vesia, who was a relief pitcher of the Dodgers, who lost their child in childbirth. So both teams last year in the World Series had 51 on their hats penciled in by them for Vesia, the relief pitcher of the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw, famously 2 years ago, had a biblical phrase on his gay hat, which is where this started with Clayton Kershaw, who insisted they reinstate Christian night at Dodger Stadium, which they did as an appeasement to Clayton Kershaw. So there's a long history of this.
All right. Well, good luck on whatever.
None of those people are worthy of the whole. The three that Eric is putting up from John Springer.
So, I'll get to
the
that
super chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll get to that when we get to there. All right. I don't know if you saw this. I guess he's poking his head up again, but James Franco suddenly turned up. Canceled Hollywood star James Franco sparks concern with bizarre TikTok comeback. And let me
go ahead. I don't even know.
Share with you what he's doing. So here he is.
Hey guys.
Hey.
This is James Franco. Me, really James Franco. I'm here at my house. I'm not promoting anything. Okay. I'm making this account because some serious shit's going on. Okay. And look here.
This is a joke.
I'm real. It's me, not AI.
This is his sense of humor.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a joke.
AI, James, do this. Oh, could not write this. This is me. Okay. For those who know, all right. Some serious stuff going on. That's why I'm contacting you. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. I know I maybe seem crazy. Like why am what's going on? What's the gimmick? No, this is real. Real. Okay. I can't say too much right now. I just need you to.
But he did try to reach out to Seth Rogen to try to become his friend again. And Seth Rogen said, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, that was the main thrust of this story, was his attempt to get back into the good graces of Seth Rogen, who apparently you really wouldn't want him as a friend anyway. You know, if he's like, why would you want to go back to this friendship where the guy threw you under the bus?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's like, you know, to his credit, Seinfeld has stood by Michael Richards.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And even just brought him out, and then he brought him out a couple of years ago. So I mean, that's what you call a friend. You know, somebody who's saying, okay, you know what, you're down, and he's not commenting anything, but he's like, this is my friend, and there you go. Or Mel Gibson. I mean, I can be really, really critical about Mel Gibson, but apparently he and Robert Downey Jr. have really kind of helped each other out, or been there for each other over the years. Like early on, when I guess from what I understand, Robert Downey Jr. was having problems, Mel Gibson was there, kind of reached out and helped him out. Then Mel Gibson had problems later, and he helped. That's cool. But yeah, Seth Rogen, no. But then again, I'm not really
a weird guy.
Seth Rogen fan.
Yeah.
Somebody said Seth talking about weed. Yeah,
he's always talking about weed. You ever notice that?
Yeah, he was a weird dude. Somebody said that might be he's maybe setting up a sequel for Pineapple Express or something.
He'd love to, but Seth Rogen's not going to go for it.
True.
I'm sure Franco would go for it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he has been pretty much underground since 2018. I'm like,
oh yeah,
wow, 8 years.
Yep.
Yep. That's a while. So he, anyway, well, very strange scenario, but on a good note, I was very happy to see this. I did not know that this has not been around for 30 years, but guess what's coming back this year?
Slinky. Oh my God. Damn, it's back. I would try
because
that.
of the 250th, McDonald's has brought back the apple pie.
Wow. What are you saying? It hasn't been around for 30 years?
That's what I found out. I
find that hard to believe, but I guess
it was introduced in 68, and in 92 they replaced the fried apple pie with the baked version.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. Okay. There's some apple pie in there.
Yeah. What what's bonker? I did not know this. It's these by the numbers is pretty cool. 230 number of calories in McDonald's baked apple pie, 10 more calories in the fried version.
How is that possible?
I don't know. They probably put more sugar or something in it to make the taste difference or what have you. That's like how low fat was all the rage for a while. And the way that they got low fat to taste decent was by adding more sugar. So it's kind of like, fat is bad, blah, 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 blah. So we will go with sugar, and that was their way around that. All right, I got one more story in here, and I literally just saw this. I'm hoping that you read more into it or know more about it. I don't know. I figured it was up your alley. Christopher Rufo wrote about this. California's gay certification program.
This
is pressuring
insane.
Utilities to award $633 million in contracts to LGBT businesses.
What do you think this is? This is so insane. Nobody would even guess what this is. You know how the government was awarding contracts to like minority-run construction companies run by women in the 80s and 90s, minority.
Still are.
Okay, so how do you know the company, even though there's a lot of fraud? I knew a guy who had a woman front his construction company to get the contracts, right?
Yeah.
So, but at least you had the woman as the front. The black ones also, you had to have the front black guy, and there are a lot of Italian guys in back of him. These contracts are being awarded by the utility companies to businesses that are run by LGBTQ LMNOP members. So they are so concerned about this that they are making you go for 1 year to LGBT orientation for them to make sure that you're gay. Now, what is going to happen in that 1 year? I don't know.
Well,
But
I've
they
got
are
good news.
they're so concerned about the fact that somebody could simply say, I'm gay, give me the money, that they're making you go for 1 year of seminars and immersion run by some gay organization to make sure you are what you claim to be.
Right, but there is a silver lining, I just realized. And it's a callback to the earlier story. Our fired teacher could have a new job because she may have to coordinate as part of the training. Okay, you're gay,
like
right?
that.
Start
Yeah.
kissing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there has to be some checks and balances. I don't know how they're going to determine this. Again, it's the only thing I could think of is that it's kind of like women minority-owned construction companies. You know, this is.
I'm sure that's
They're saying. I mean, Rufo investigated this thing. They're saying that the diversity here is that you're gay for this particular grants, for these grants.
And it's kind of goofy on multiple fronts, though, because gays are considered a minority.
Well,
and so why are you
yeah.
saying, hey, this minority over that minority?
Because Eric, they're not. It's not visual. Because it's not visual. You could show up and Hunley says I'm gay, and now Hunley says I'm black, and he's a white Hunley. You can't get the grant. If Hunley says I'm a woman, you can't get the grant. Hunley shows up, says I'm gay.
Hey, Dolezal did.
What's that?
Dolezal did the black thing.
Oh, she put a lot of work into that, though. I mean, think about how. Yeah, I mean, she put a lot of work into that.
Okay.
Again, I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it.
All right. Well, you know what? I think that
I think it's because it's visual that they're doing this, because you can't tell by looking at someone if they're gay or not. I mean, the only thing that makes sense.
It could be, but what a good.
What are you going to do? To give them the gay history quiz? A lot of gays don't know the history of gays in America. That ain't going to cut it.
No. And define gay. Define.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about furries? They're going to feel left out. And then you have the
well, that's spirit animals. I think that's a spirit animal.
That's true, but then there's two spirit. That's what part of the LGBTQ. I will be on and on. So, here we go. Dustin said, "Let's give this to Gene. He licks sausage." Okay. All right. Moving. There's a Norm Macdonald joke where he was on with Dennis Miller, and he was talking about two gay guys and how they're proud. They're proud, and he goes, I understand being proud, but you're proud. And you're like, well, look, I got a picture of my son. See, and he likes. Anyway, Norm put it in a very specific manner that is very, very funny. But I have an idea. Coming up, literally a week from Saturday, you and I can discuss this. With the people. Nate will be in the crowd too. He can give us a legal definition of what is possibly gay. I don't know. We have a meetup though.
And that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Anaheim, California.
Very, very nice place.
A very nice place. And we are starting to get down to the wire where
we're gonna have to cut you people off unless you get in there soon enough because of crowds and limited space. So you better get in there now before it's too late. Don't cry to me, Argentina, if you can't get in later.
Right. Because, you might want to book your flight, things like that. The planes might
I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but there's certain things you may have to do before you hook up with us.
Absolutely. But I am totally looking forward to it. And we will be there, again, a week from Saturday.
A week from this coming Saturday?
That's correct.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It is coming very, very quickly. I mean, 13 days.
Oh, it's almost 2 weeks.
Oh, actually less than 13. anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
It's coming soon, 11 days.
11.
I can't do math apparently today. But anyway, we'll be there. We have all kinds of food. We've got the Beam Me Up Scotty area at the hotel. And we will be in a venue pretty similar to here and noshing on the food, which Mark picked out himself out of the options available, with warm rolls and butter, a deconstructed Caesar salad, with the tri-tip as the main course, or the salmon. I'm going to get both, obviously. And we'll have, of course, marble potatoes, dessert bars, and there will be a bar cart.
I just hope this piece of shit Henry Guest doesn't show up, because he's been banned from the meetup, and your money's no good here, Henry.
Henry's been very, very active in the chat.
Yeah. Henry can't come to the meetup because he's a piece of shit.
All right. Well, there we go. Everybody but Henry.
Everybody but Henry's invited, except that douchebag Henry Guest in the chat.
All right, and Danny has a fair question. Will we do a Freeform Friday before the meetup? Yes, there is a Freeform Friday on the Friday. We're just going to be doing it from the road.
Yeah.
So our backgrounds will
resemble
hotel rooms.
How are people getting from LAX to Anaheim? Just all the people at LAX. How are they getting from LAX to Anaheim, Eric? What's your take on that?
Yeah. By horse.
By horse or buggy?
Yep. By horse or buggy.
This guy's getting hungry now. All right. Well, I think we're going to have a good group. I think this is a good group.
Oh, I know we will. I mean, we already know some of the people here.
Yeah.
I mean, like Scott, he was, he's driving across, and we have Texas Tom and his brother coming down.
Right.
Oh, Scott's flying in. Okay, never mind. He's flying into the John Wayne Airport.
Oh, wow. That's a good idea.
And that's where I'm going, is John Wayne Airport. So
okay. Perfect. That's a cute little airport.
All right, so let me see. We got some super chats to finish this up. Pamela saying, "Happy Tuesday, guys." Mark, I love the optical viewing machine remark. That was so funny.
I don't know that they seem to come up with these names of things in headlines to confuse us.
It works. I admit I'm confused. All right. Govea covered the charging docks just now. There was a solid plan, all equipment bought, assignments given, travel plans, everything. Okay. Well,
okay.
Good. All right. Good. I have to consult with him. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see what that show says. Yeah.
John Rudd with a $3 super sticker. Thank you very much, John. We do appreciate that. John Springer, who will be at the meetup. Greetings from Cooperstown, New York, home of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Mark, who do you feel is worthy of induction but has been overlooked? Venezuela or what is it? Valenzuela, Munson, Mattingly, other?
None of them. And the only thing I can recommend to John Springer is that he go into the knuckleball batting cage, which is each of the batting cages is set for a different type of pitch. You can go into a fastball batting cage, a curve. There's one, I think, with a splitter or some kind of a sinker, but there's also, or there used to be, I haven't been there in years, but there used to be one batting cage that just had the knuckler, which I highly recommend.
Okay. I'm completely clueless on that.
Well, he knows. Springer must know. He's up there.
Yeah.
If you're up there, there's batting cages outside. There's a baseball field outside. There's an annual Hall of Fame game during the induction proceedings in July. I don't know who's getting inducted. None of those people seem to get me excited. Hold on. Let me just look up who's being inducted this year.
Well, it won't be Pete Rose, right?
It's not going to be Pete Rose. Let's see. Who are inductees into Hall of Fame? Hall of Fame. MLB. We'll put that in so they're not confused.
All right. While you're doing that, I've got a couple of
Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent. None of them are worthy of being in the Hall of Fame. Carlos Beltran was caught cheating by MLB during the Houston Astros series, was suspended. Andrew Jones, the fat fuck, couldn't play for the Dodgers, who signed him for a huge deal. And Jeff Kent, who played for both the Giants and the Dodgers, just doesn't have the numbers. It's kind of like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now, Eric. They're running out of people, so they're lowering the standards every year to put in various groups.
Not to be autistic about it, but are they doing it like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is would they ignore legitimate acts like Jethro Tull stuff because I hate you, and then put in
they're just lowering
people.
They're just lowering the standards to have 3 people every freaking year. Otherwise, nobody's going to show up to Cooperstown because years ago they, not every year they had inductees, and now it's like, oh, we got to find somebody, Bob.
Maybe they should have years without them. That'd be amazing.
They did. They used to.
Well, a lot of things were better in the past. Let me see. Flea Speech at the Rumble Rant said, Auntie Trump ought to bake more American pies for all to enjoy. She's not, but McDonald's is, Flea Speech. Flea Speech said, question for Mark. My favorite National Lampoon's dog fishing in New York City. Were you behind that?
No.
All right. King of Biltong says, fuel your day with dried sausage from Biltong USA. Clean ingredients and serious protein. Perfect for road trips, work, or snack time, anytime. Go to biltongusa.com. Use code AUS for 10% off. And I did have the Wagyu sausage or whatever it is. That is amazing. I actually love that even more than the traditional Biltong. Just, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's like Slim Jims, but the form factor is sort of like that, but bent over and fresh and good versus what you get in the store, which is Slim Jim.
I think Tony Kish might have written Dog Fishing in Central Park, but you're going to have to look that up. I don't have that in front of me, but go on.
Okay.
I diverge.
Flea Speech said, sorry for the off-topic questions. Tuesdays are Fridays here in Denmark. LOL.
Wow.
So Flea Speech is from Denmark. I always forget that. I love that we have a European contingent. And I don't know if Denmark is 5 hours or 6 hours ahead.
Wow.
But many hours ahead. Let's see. K-Dog 4703 closing us out is saying, great show. The 5:30 start time is pure genius. 5 o'clock wouldn't work. 6 o'clock wouldn't work. Nobody starts anything at 5:30. Best move in the entertainment industry. There'll be copycats. There is a story behind the start time, actually. And that was the earliest I could safely do a show getting home from my corporate job at time.
Right.
And I was fortunate enough to leave the corporate job in 2023, but it already was set 5:30 on Tuesday and Friday. But that's why the 5:30 is to be able to do a show and still maintain a marriage and keep everybody happy by having that window of time in that period. In case people are curious about that, we do have a couple more stories. While we're on the woke train for Pride Month here, California Dems blasted for post claiming that only the woke can watch World Cup.
Yeah, I don't know what this is about.
Is that a joke?
I couldn't really figure this out of what the deal is here.
Well, is the California Democratic Party?
Oh, it was from the Democratic Party's own Twitter account. That's why it was so official that people were responding to this.
Well, look at these statements. You're not allowed to watch World Cup if you've ever voted against immigration.
Right.
What? You're not allowed to watch the World Cup if you've ever spoken out against DEI. Wow, this is brilliant. I hope you guys keep this up.
Yeah.
Can you make it National Democratic Party? Because you're literally saying, please don't vote for us. This is like Hillary Clinton's deplorable.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to watch the World Cup if you only want people to speak English.
Wow.
That had to be written by a millennial or younger.
It's somebody in the office who's handling the account, I guess. They probably take turns.
And really,
at Democratic headquarters in Sacramento.
It's like, you idiots, you say that at your cocktail party, you don't say it on the official account. I mean, wow, that is astounding. But you know what? That saves me time. I wasn't going to watch it anyway, so I guess I'm good. I could say I was not allowed to watch it by the Democrat Party. Maybe it's reverse psychology, so people actually show interest. Innisfad wants to know, Mark, what's the song at the start of your Wednesday show?
Original music. Sorry.
Okay. AI, or do you know?
I don't know. But it's not a song. It's original.
Which is probably safer anyway.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Speaking of which, what do you have coming tomorrow?
This week in showbiz history, and earlier than that, we have the celebrity crime and rehab updates. And there's new people every week, so you got to tune in. Who knows who got arrested this week?
Yeah, I saw something that apparently, and I'm guessing you're covering that the person handling the trust fund for Nick Reiner is pushing for him to get it.
Yeah, now, the thing is actually turned around because of Alan Jackson demanding to get paid for the amount of work that he did. This is where they can't get out of it, Eric, because Jackson had the approval of both kids and the trustee on the phone.
That's what I was
trustee on the phone, and they did not pay Alan Jackson for the work that he did.
So
So
I know Jackson said that he's more than happy to come back onto the
and
case.
he's more than happy to come back on at a lesser fee. More interesting. He's going to win this thing because the judge is going to rule on this week. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. That he has the right to this money. He has not been to trial. He is presumed innocent until found guilty, and the money is rightfully his on paper, in terms of the trust fund.
I understand that, and that's one of those legal things where it's like, yeah, I see it legally, but boy, it just feels.
It's one of the legal things. It's part of the legal process that he's in jail with no bail for, though.
Right.
Everything's a legal thing at this point until he's convicted, Eric.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
I mean, it changes once you're convicted, but that may not be for a number of years, or at least a year, with our speedy trial system here in LA.
Oh, I'm sure it's not going to be that speedy. But.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
Well, with him, depending on what evidence it is, he probably doesn't want a speedy trial, if whatever. But it always works out both ways. If they don't have the strongest case, the faster you can get it done, the better. But if it is a strong case, the more you can delay it, the better, because then somebody might die.
If Jackson comes back in, then the meter is running in terms of hourly fees. With the public defender, there's no meter running. However, he's not going to get the level of defense that he would get from Alan Jackson. It's night and day, in terms of the quality of defense. I mean, it could be that
his public defender, though, was a pretty high level one who's really worked.
Right. Is she going to negotiate the book deal for him?
Well, okay.
Right. I mean, this.
I'm talking about his prison times.
She's going to help some wealthy white kid from West LA on a trust fund instead of the Black and Latinos that she normally helps. She's going to bend over backwards. The point of the matter is, Jackson wants to come back into the case.
Oh, of course he does. If he's going to be paid, and it is a big case, and he's a big name, he's building. He just did Karen Reed, and came out pretty well on that.
But I mean, from the defendant's point of view, it could be the difference between life imprisonment and 20 years in terms of what he can negotiate as an attorney.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it could be a huge difference in the sentencing, is all I'm saying. Not that it's going to change his innocence or guilt in the matter,
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, the higher powered crew you have with better resources, the money also enables the ability to hire
experts.
The experts are huge. Yeah. Run your own autopsy. Run your own this and that, to find anywhere that they slipped up on chain of custody. And, there's so many little details that they can go over if they have the money to throw at it.
Right. Well, I mean, even an insanity defense from drugs and whatever, his state was.
That's an interesting question, though, because
is he insane?
But the insanity defense, I've interviewed Dr. Shaham Das, who works in Broadmoor, which is like the main England, London insane asylum for the criminally insane, and he was talking about how One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest doesn't go well. If a normal prisoner gets in the insane asylum, they're not happy, they're not comfortable. It's not a good experience for them. They actually have a better time in a normal prison with people that they can kind of relate to a bit more. That it's sort of a hell for them to be with that kind of a sentence. So,
I have two words for that. John Hinckley, who's now home playing guitar.
Oh, okay.
No,
but I think he was insane.
Okay,
So,
but now he's not. Now he's not insane.
But he did fit in. I mean,
he fit in all right. Now he's working on a new album. I mean,
well, he's also commenting, since there's so many attempts on Trump, and they choose at least one time to use his location. It's like, hey, you know what? We've got an expert on the matter, so he could be. An expert.
Redmond O'Neill, by the way, who is the son. I did an episode on Redmond O'Neill, who's coming to trial after a number of years in an insane asylum in LA. He's finally coming to trial for hacking these people with a knife, and they sent him into the insane asylum. He is yet to stand trial, and they literally sent him to the mental institution before he even was capable of standing trial, which is now. So again, he had money. He had he had the Farrah Fawcett trust fund left for him to allow him to get legal defense, to put him in the mental institution, saying my client is nuts, Your Honor. And now they're claiming he's sane and he shouldn't have to serve any more time.
Now, question on that.
Yeah.
You said knives and hacking and stuff. Did crystal meth enter the equation?
Of course. No, nobody's denying it.
Okay, I'm just asking.
He went on a crystal meth stabbing spree in Venice, California, and Santa Monica. So this is absolutely brilliant. His lawyers got him committed. They said he's not capable of standing trial at this time. He was committed to an insane asylum out in San Bernardino somewhere, the state mental hospital, where he has been incarcerated for the past 3 years as not an innocent man, but a man who has not come to trial yet. So now that he's coming to trial, his lawyers are now claiming that now he's sane, thanks to the court that sentenced him into the insane asylum. So he shouldn't do time for the hacking and stabbing of these innocent victims. This is where money comes into play.
Right. But a good prosecutor will take that and say, oh, no. That means he's now competent to stand trial to go to real prison. So thank you for helping us out. And,
we'll see where it goes.
Cleaned up so he can actually be convicted as a normal person now.
We'll see how it comes out, but we're going to cover it on Celebrity Crime and Rehab either way, Eric. So it's happening in real time now. Again, this is Ryan O'Neill and Farrah Fawcett's son, Redmond O'Neill, who used to get high with his father. So
that was a very troubled relationship. Ryan
and Farrah. At one point, they fought each other with swords because they were both on meth, and the police had to come and take them both away. This was early in the game before the stabbing spree that happened like 3 years ago.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice. Okay. Well, all right. Last story here. You sent me this. U.S. Park Police launch probe after 8647 appears on Washington Mall.
Did you ever get a resolution of this? Did anybody ever figure this out? How they got there, sight unseen, to carve into the lawn 8647 in gigantic UFO size crop circles. And I mentioned crop circles because of the size of the crop circles. And nobody saw them. There's no cameras out there. This is one of these stories that just disappeared, boggles the imagination, has no resolution, and we're supposed to just go, oh, well, moving on.
Hate to say, not really that surprised.
Okay.
And I'm sure that there were witnesses, obviously.
Okay. All right.
It's very difficult to do that. But if the
numbers are
huge. In
huge.
Washington, D.C., where Trump's approval rating is probably.
Oh, no.
negative
I'm not
20.
saying there aren't people willing to do it. I'm just saying that there's
And
got to
people
be
that turn away
surveillance
going-
cameras. I mean, this must have taken hours.
Yeah, I know. Well, the crop circles, from my understanding, they figured out some of them might have been like tying some sort of cable and a stake and going around. So that, you
But
might
this
have
is
somebody
Eric.
fish
This is
scandals.
the Washington Mall, not the middle of field in Iowa. This is on the eve of this UFC fight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe these terrorist wannabes did it.
Sadly, it could be this too.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah.
park workers.
Could be park workers. All I'm saying is there has to be surveillance cameras of this. Give me a break. If there aren't, then somebody should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, somebody should be ashamed of themselves in general, and they should have surveillance candles. Let me see. Flea Speech said, "Did somebody pour goop into the reflecting pool to muck things up?"
Probably.
That's not bad.
Probably. It's probably Gwyneth Paltrow with that goop.
There you go. She had some weird products herself.
Yeah.
Let me see. Dustin says, "I'm stuck en route somewhere in Luckenbach, Texas, with Wayton, Willie, and the boys. Hope to make it by next Saturday." You better.
Yeah.
We're counting on you.
Yeah, he's
make sure you wear
in
your
Texas, so he's
seersucker.
just got to come up a little further northwest. I think you'll make it from Luckenbach.
I'm sure he will. And by the way, Dustin is a style maven himself, and he showed up. I think the first event wearing seersucker.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Which is thumbs up. Very, very
Yeah, very
cool.
good suit. No, I don't really. I mean, it's not for me, but it looked good on him.
True.
Yeah, I don't like it myself, but it does look good on certain people.
And he would be one. It looked great. Well, all right. We are going to head over, as usual, to locals, where we'll continue the discussion. We will get the torn from the headlines segment that we're starting to do on locals. If you guys want a little bit more news over, again, it's free. You can be a member of locals for free. Unstructured.locals.com. Go look down in the description. And while we talk to different people and things that are going on there's a private chat. You can always participate. We're doing the torn from the headlines to kind of carry it on and do a little bit more news stories over there. And I do hope you consider
105 in Fresno. Really? Holy crap. What the
That's
hell's
why they
going
say
on in Fresno?
No.
All right. We'll see you over there, Eric. We'll see you over there.